Hello, I am Brian Malipa, and from the book The 7 Habits of Highly Effective Families, I chose habit number one, um, which is be proactive. So, be proactive, this is coming as opposed to be reactive. Okay, in life, be proactive as opposed to being reactive. And he brings this idea of, he got this idea from one book where he says, between a stimulus and your reaction, between what happens and how you respond is space. And in this space are some principles. It's freedom of choice. There's some gifts that you have, so it is freedom to choose. And in this space, he says there are some principles, or four gifts rather, that you've got, that everybody has got. Okay, the four gifts are: number one, self-awareness, being aware of who you are, self-awareness. Consciousness, that's number two. Number three is imagination. And with imagination, one preacher, like at the church I used to go, said, the gift of imagination that we have from God is a gift that helps us to create, okay, to invent stuff, make up stuff, create. And so that's number three. Number four is independent will. Okay, you are independent to do whatever you want, independent will. And so those are the four. And then he's got another one which was not in the book, which is sense of humor. Again, another preacher said, sense of humor is God's gift to us to be able to live with ourselves. If we would not have self-humor, we would struggle, we would suffer, Yeah. And then, so all of this should also be done with the bottom line of love. Okay, and then love comes in two ways. There's love, the verb, love is an action. And then there's also love, the feeling. Love is a feeling, Michael Jackson. Okay, so sometimes you feel in love. Like if you're married, you might feel love for your wife. Sometimes you might fall out of love with your wife. That does not mean you should stop loving your wife. So if you don't feel in love with your spouse anymore, you have to put in love as a verb. And in fact, love, the feeling, should be a fruit of love, the verb. He gave an example of one person who came to him and says, you know what, I don't love my wife anymore, and she doesn't love me anymore, but we've got children, we don't know what to do. And then Stephen says to the guy, well, if you just love your wife. He says, no, I don't feel love for her anymore. Stephen kept on saying, love your wife. So the thing is, if you don't have the feeling anymore, which is an emotion, you must put love in action, love the verb. Again, there's one scripture in the book of Revelation where God says, I know you used to do these works, you used to love me and stuff, and now you are neither hot nor cold. Therefore I'll spit you out of my mouth. And then the next part says, go back to doing the things that you used to do when you loved me, and then you will fall back into love. Okay, so the principle here is love, the verb. This also takes me back to the book in the 1 Kings chapter 13, verse 11 to 25. It takes off a story of this young prophet who had been told to do something by God. Told, go this way, don't eat, don't drink when you go this way, and when you're coming from there, do not use the same road that you went with. Use another different road. And this prophet is a young guy. He is obedient to God, so he's going on his way. And then along the way, he meets an old prophet. Okay, so old prophet comes on the way, and then he invites him to come and eat. And then the young prophet says, no, I can't do that because the word came to me and said, don't eat, don't do this, yada, yada, yada. And then the old prophet lies to the young prophet. He actually lied to him and said, no, I'm an old prophet. An angel came to me and told me that you should come and eat with me and come to my house and eat with me, okay? Young prophet falls for it. He goes and he eats. And then God punished the young prophet and killed him. The young prophet was killed. And for me, I thought this was really, I felt sorry for the young guy because he was lied to. I think he was a victim. Why would God kill a victim? The guy was lied to. He didn't know he was being lied to. And then, so it goes to the principle that Stephen came up with here. Something that happens, between something that happens and your response or your reaction to it is space. And in this space is your freedom to choose. Young prophet knew what God had told him. Okay? And then stimulus. Old prophet comes with a different news. Okay? So between different what God said, and then what the old prophet said, and then my response to it. Therefore, he actually did sin against God. He knew what to do. What did God tell you? So there's that self-awareness. Okay, what did God say to me? Okay, consciousness, imagination, independent will, and then humor. Okay, and this reminds me also of a few years ago, 2015, 2016. There, I was praying, and then I felt that God was leading me to do it's called the Professional Recovery Coach Training, CPRC. And so I applied for it. I went to the website and I saw the school fees. It was like $3,000 or something, the fees for the school. I didn't have the money, so I prayed, and then I felt like God saying, I want you to do this school, go for it. So I applied for the school, and then I asked them, do you have any scholarships? And they said to me, no, sorry, we do not have any scholarships. So I went back to God, say, I thought, God, you said you want me to do this thing. And in my head, I felt, like God was saying, yeah, they say they don't have any scholarships, so what? I want you to do the school. So you know what I did? I went back and I sent another email application. I want to do this school. Do you guys have any scholarships? And they said, no, we do not have any scholarships. We're not going to have any scholarships anytime soon. And you know what I did? So between what happens to me and my response to it is space. And in this space is my self-awareness, consciousness, imagination. That's very important. It helps you to create an independent will. And after that is humor. Plus, you have to do it under love. So you know what I did? This was December 2015. So December 2015, I sent an email every day for 5 days. First week I did 5 days. Hi, my name is Brian. I want to do this training here. Do you have any scholarships? And the response was the same. No, we don't have any scholarships. And I sent them an email December 2015, January 2016, February 2016, March, January, February, March, and then April. I was sending them an email. It was now, I think it was twice a week. Okay, from January I was sending like twice a week. The same email. Hi, my name is Brian. I want to do this training. And that's coming from what I believed, God wanted me to do, what I wanted for myself. I wanted to do this training. And then, kid you not, in April 2016, they eventually sent me an email and say, hey, Brian, okay, we've had enough of your emails. Just give me 3 days. I'll come back to you. Let me talk to the president of the organization. So then 3 days later, they sent me an email and they said, okay, we'll give you a scholarship. That's how I did my recovery coach training. And it's actually one of the best trainings I've ever had in the treatment field, addiction treatment field. And that's coming from this response. You can call it persistence. It's a response to what do I want, what's there, and how am I going to respond? How am I going to be proactive? So this is me being proactive, okay? Which also leads to the principle we see in Genesis chapter 3, where the fall of man, God comes to Adam and, these guys knew what to do. You can eat from anything in the tree of garden, any tree, except for this thing, don't touch it, don't eat from it. And then what do? They go ahead and eat, okay? And later on, so Adam and Eve hear God, walking in the Garden of Eden in the cool of the day, and then they went and they hid themselves. Why were they hiding themselves? This is like a reaction to, oh, God is coming, we're naked, let's run. And if you see the interaction they had between God and Adam was now like a victim of circumstances, or something bad happened. It's not my fault. I just happened to be here. She gave it to me. Okay, this is reaction. This is not being proactive. Okay, and the last part I want to talk about is coming from the book of James, chapter 2, verse 14 to 26. Faith without works is dead. An example they gave there is, how if a person comes to you and they are naked and they're cold, do you say to them, oh, bless you, go your way, be warm, find warmth as you go? It sounds so biblical to say, "Bless you, go your way, be, be warned." But faith without works is dead. Um, if I am a person of faith, am I living according to those principles of faith? What are the principles of faith? They live in the gap of, I see this person who's naked, and there's also my response or reaction to it. What's in there, that space there? Self-awareness, who am I in Christ? Consciousness, okay, what is the me saying about this whole situation here? Imagination, independent will, we are free to choose. And humor I think is a great one. I don't think if I did not have a sense of humor, I would have sent them an email twice a week asking for the same thing, asking for the same scholarship. I would have, been, what are they going to think of me? But because of this space here, this freedom to choose space, yeah, I got what I needed. So thank you so much for listening. Have a good one.